everyone! If you aren't already aware, over the last couple of weeks, there's been a few leaks coming up from various sources. They haven't been disproven, so a lot of them are pretty much being told that they are true. But I figured over the next couple of weeks, I'll go over the leaks that have come out and kind of give my own thoughts on each individual subject. And I thought we'd start off with the new leak about a Primeape evolution. Now, if you remember from my previous video, we did already have a look into Primeape, saying that it does deserve an evolution. So it's kind of awesome that Game Freak was thinking along the same lines and they've gone ahead and done this. So our idea was that it got so angry that it kind of just popped a vessel, and then that vessel caused it to be just filled with fire, hot rage, like even on a whole other level of rage, like volcanic rage. And we made like a firefighting evolution, and then we kind of went with the idea of like, if it ever calms down, it dies. Like, that's how angry it is. It's basically keeping itself alive through pure adrenaline. Now, Game Freak's kind of gone with the same idea. They've gone with the Pokedex entry from kind of like Sun and Moon, where it's like this Pokemon is very angry, and then if it ever gets too angry, it dies. And then they're like, but it looks peaceful in its death. Like, that's kind of what the Pokedex is saying. So they've kind of gone with the idea that Primate's evolution is going to be ghost fighting, which would mean the Primeape got so angry, it died, but then that death triggered evolution. So then it evolved and took its ghost form. Like, you get the ghost now, which is kind of dark and bleak in its own way, because it means like trainers would be then trying to purposely get their Primeape so angry that it kind of has like an eruption in its brain, so it dies, so it evolves and becomes stronger. Like, that's how the lore would kind of work in some sense. Like, you could see some people triggering that. Obviously, other people would be like, maybe they're trying to keep its rage in check. They don't want it to evolve. Like, there's a lot of little lore things that go into it, which kind of makes it very interesting. Now, in terms of how the evolution works in game, we've been told that there's no new evolutionary items, but Primeape does have a unique way of evolving. Now, there is a few ways you could kind of do this. You could have it so Primeape evolves after fainting 5 times, or you could have it evolve after fainting when it's at a certain level. So like that level is like peak rage. Or you can have it so it uses one of the fury moves a few times. So like outrage, for example, stomping tantrum, anything where it's kind of anger is in the theme of the move, and use that a couple of times. And then the last time you've used it, you've peaked his rage. He's gotten into a furious state, and then he evolves after that battle. Those are a few ways. You could also just attach maybe like a Reaper cloth to it and just trade it and do an evolution that way. I mean, that also works as well. But the fact that they are going with fighting ghosts is kind of interesting to me, because we don't have that type outside of like Marshadow, who's like a mythical legendary, so it doesn't really count. But fighting ghost in itself is a pretty good offensive and defensive typing. Ghost is good against Psychic, which is good against Fighting. Fighting is good against Dark, which is good against Ghost. So they kind of meet each other's weaknesses. Fighting allows Ghost to hit normal. Like, there's a lot of cool things going on with that typing, so I'm really excited to see it. And the fact that they're doing it with Primeape, who in Generation 1 was basically, you never used it. I mean, you evolved it for the Pokedex, but with Machamp running around, like, there's no real reason to have that particular fighting Pokemon on your team. I mean, even Ash in the anime had it for a couple of things. It did its own little thing, and you can't get rid of it. Granted, Ash gets rid of a lot of Pokemon, so that doesn't give it any credit, but it's never been great. It's never been a great Mon. So the fact that it is getting this evolution, and the fact that its current stats aren't horrible. Like, Primeape doesn't have terrible stats, so the fact that it now can evolve should mean it can get a bit more stats, which may make it a bit more competitive. Now, I'm also excited with the fact that Pokemon is trying to go for these darker themes in certain aspects. Like in Pokemon Legends Arceus, for example, they had the storyline where you kind of find out that Drifloom's stealing children, and you got to stop that, which is kind of how the Pokedex entry came to be, because we personally saw it and we wrote it down. Drifloom likes kids. Like, that's kind of them making a nod to the fact that they do have these kind of darker moments in their own Pokedex entries. And I feel like that's something that's awesome to see, because their audience has matured. So those are my thoughts on the Primeape evolution. I think ghost fighting is going to be amazing for the game. I think Primeape in itself will now get some use. And I'm honestly looking forward to kind of mix and matching it competitively. I'm going to try and get into VGC again. and hopefully I can use it. But those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on Primate's evolution? Are you happy with it being ghost fighting? Would you have preferred it to be firefighting? Would you prefer them to not evolve Primeape at all? Maybe choose another Pokemon. And also in the comments, let me know what you think I should cover next. Now, there is a few leaks running around. There's like regional fakes, so that's Pokemon that look like older Pokemon, but they're new Pokemon. So, for example, there's meant to be water Diglets, so they're little eels that live in the ground. They're completely new Pokemon, but they kind of look like old Pokemon. And then you've also got like the ancient and future Pokemon. There are other things as well. Like, I'm looking to tackle everything, but if there's something that people want to see more of, I'll kind of do that first and then go through the list. Now, I also did want to apologize for the lack of videos over the last month and a half. I had COVID, I had the flu, I had exams. Like, things kind of got all hectic in the same little bubble. But a lot of that is kind of now out of the way. So I will be hopefully going back to more regular content. I'm looking to maybe do 2 videos a week, most likely doing these leaks. I do got to get back into the Insurgents video, so keep an eye out for that. I will keep that still going. Save files still the same, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm hoping to do this a bit more regularly. I'm also streaming a bit more regularly as well, so keep an eye out for me on twitch.tv/Machamp. At the moment, I've been doing Survival Imon, which is really fun, and I'm looking to do more variety things as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, if you're enjoying my content, please let me know by leaving a like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Cheers!